Espio the Chameleon first popped up in 1995 as a member of Knuckles Chaotix, and despite Knuckles Chaotix not soaring in popularity like some of the other Sonic games, Espio has always been a fan favorite. Next to Vector the Alligator, he's appeared in many a Sonic game over the years, and even has a riveting story arc in the Sega licensed Archie comics. But why is the character so popular? How did he come to be? And how did the once hot-headed chameleon become so darn chill and collected? Well, we've got all the answers for you with our list of the top 10 Espio the Chameleon surprising facts. In our number 10 spot, his creation. Espio's first appearance was in the 1995 Knuckles Chaotix for the Sega 32X system. He was created by Takumi Miyake, who did a whole lot for Chaotix. He was the chief graphic designer, attraction designer, character designer, enemy designer, boss designer, and partook in crafting original character concepts like Espio's. He's worked on a lot of other Sega games too, only 2 of which were Sonic games, Sonic CD and Sonic 3D Blast. But back to his creation. After Chaotix, Espio was the first character to return to a Sonic game aside from Knuckles, appearing in Sonic the Fighters, and then in Sonic Heroes alongside Vector and Charmy to form Team Chaotix. Not too shabby considering his other teammate Mighty the Armadillo, who we've actually done a facts list on as well that's worth checking out, would completely disappear minus very brief cameos until the latest release of Sonic Mania Plus. Up next, number 9, Ninja Training. While often praised for his work as a detective and his work as a member of the Chaotix Detective Agency, Espio is known for being a ninja. Literally, he's a master of ninjutsu, according to his Sonic Generations description, and is a skilled ninja who thrives on danger and uses stealth and speed to fool his enemies. It probably also helps that he's an animal with the capability of camouflaging like no other, an ability that is highlighted in the Challenge Act Espio, Master of Camouflage in Sonic Generations, but more on that later. In order to expertly camouflage, Espio needs to fully concentrate. If his focus falters, he becomes visible, which leaves him open for an attack. Otherwise, he's a master of blending into his environment, and in the game itself cannot be targeted by the player. Up next, number 8, his weapons. Aside from his ninja training and camouflage skills, Espio is pretty darn fast, and can pull off moves like Spin Attack, despite not being a hedgehog like Sonic and some of the other characters who also use it. But what's kind of neat is that he is one of the only characters who uses traditional kinds of weapons, shuriken stars and a kunai, which he's an expert at throwing. His stars act as a great long-range weapon that he can throw in rapid succession, and he's been known to attach rope to his kunai to use it as a grappling hook to swing between targets. And at number 7, his personality. According to the Japanese manual of Knuckles Chaotix, Espio was a detective who went to investigate the mysterious island that emerged from the sea in the game, the Nootrogic High Zone. His detective traits have managed to stick to his character, luckily, despite some revisions he and the other members of Chaotix would experience. Also more on that later. Espio is often described as a straight-laced detective, serious, practical, wise, and intelligent. According to his bio in Sonic Generations, his wariness and soulful character make him a vital member of the Chaotix Detective Agency. And at number 6, Meller's Chameleon. Espio is a chameleon, if that wasn't already the most obvious thing about him. But he's not the kind of chameleon that you see prancing around in TELUS commercials. Instead, he's a breed of chameleon called Meller's Chameleon, also known as the giant one-horned chameleon, which is the largest species of chameleon from the African mainland. These chameleons got their name from an individual named Dr. Charles James Meller, who was mentioned by John Gray, a biologist and taxon authority, in his 1865 description and discovery of the creature, and whom he dedicated the species to. Meller's chameleons are stout little guys with stubby tails, and Espio pretty much matches that description. And at 5, Espio Master of Camouflage. As we mentioned earlier, there's a challenge act that appears in Sonic Generations called Espio Master of Camouflage. It's the 5th and final challenge of Speed Highway Act 2, and it's unlocked by clearing every stage in the Dreamcast era. Playing as modern Sonic, you run through the course as usual, but at various points you're halted by Espio, who will turn invisible using his camouflage technique that we talked about earlier, all while he tosses his stars at you. The only way to reveal him is to turn a searchlight on, which blinds him and causes him to lose focus. Side note, this is also the very first challenge act that Espio ever appeared in. And at number 4, Knuckles Chaotix. Speaking of appearances, let's jump back in time to his very first, in Knuckles Chaotix. While Chaotix is a beloved game, it initially came out of the Sega 32X, a system that wasn't overly popular, resulting in the game to do poorly compared to other Sonic titles that appeared on the Mega Drive around that time. It follows the story of Knuckles as the main character, and allowed players to use the new at the time Combi system, which let you play as 2 characters at once. Espio had come to the Nootrogic High Zone to investigate it, along with Mighty, Vector, and Charmy, who all migrated to it for their own reasons. They all ended up being captured though, and Knuckles frees them one at a time, starting with Espio, which prompts the player being able to use 2 characters at once. In addition to that, some also believe that Espio was meant to play a much larger role, a starring one, in the game. This is due to the title cards on the beta builds of the game that read, starring Espio the Chameleon. Up next at 3, Potty Mouth. Shadow the Hedgehog was a game that tried a little too hard. Released in 2005, the game has gotten itself a cringeworthy reputation for its seemingly desperate efforts to make the game feel more dark and hardcore. I mean, Shadow walks around with guns. something that no other Sonic game has ever done. It's like really out of character and super dumb. Along with Shadow, Sonic, Knuckles, and the Gun Commander, Espio is one of the only characters in the game, and the franchise as a whole, who says a curse word.
Damn, we've been detected.
And by curse word, I mean the word damn. Yeah, it's perhaps the most tame curse word that could have ever been used, but all things considered, with the game working so hard to be edgy and grim while maintaining a certain age rating, it kind of makes sense. Still, a tad unnecessary, but at least it's not as unnecessary as this. Super cringe. In our number 2 spot, Reinvention. According to Takashi Iizuka, Espio, along with other members of Team Chaotix, minus Knuckles, were recreated for Sonic Heroes, or rather reinvented, with Sega choosing to ignore traits that had been initially established in the Knuckles Chaotix game. The reasoning behind this was to remove any contradictions previous character development would have with their intentions in Sonic Heroes. The changes made to Espio specifically were his age, his design, and his personality. Instead of being a hothead chameleon, he was given a more serious attitude overall. Cool, calm, and collected. And finally, in at number 1, his name. If you've watched any of our other facts videos about Sonic characters, you'll know that most of Sonic's pals have names that were chosen for a specific reason, or based off a trait that the character encompasses. Espio is no different. The chameleon character's name is believed to be derived from one of 2 words. The first is espionage, and considering he's ninja disciplined and a member of the Chaotix detective agency, that makes perfect sense. The second is the Spanish word espio, which means I spy. Kinda on the nose, but hey, at least it's accurate. Alright, there we have it, friends. Did you guys know all these facts about Espio? Is he your favorite member of Knuckles Chaotix? And if not, who is? Let us know all of your thoughts and feels in those comments below. If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting those like, subscribe buttons, and be sure to check out the playlist we currently have flashing on your screen. We have a ton of other Sonic videos and fact videos on Sonic characters, so make sure you give it a click. In the meantime though, thanks for watching everybody, I'll catch you all in the next video.